Something happened at a Fortune 500 boardroom in Chicago in March 2019 that almost nobody noticed. But it changed the outcome of a $4.2 million deal in under 3 seconds. A senior executive walked in, confident, prepared, sharp suit, and the moment he reached out his hand, the room decided he was weak. Not because of what he said, not because of how he looked, because of one physical gesture that lasted less time than a single heartbeat. The deal went to someone else. He never knew why. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people spend hours rehearsing their pitch, their eye contact, their tone of voice. But the human brain makes a dominance and trust assessment from a handshake before your mouth opens even once. 1 second of physical contact decides whether people respect you or forget you. And right now, there's a very high chance your handshake is silently destroying your status every single time you use it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to fix it. Here's the brutal truth about handshake advice online. Most of it is surface-level garbage. Firm grip, make eye contact, smile. You've heard it, you've probably tried it. And yet something still feels off. People still don't respond to you the way you want them to. Here's why that advice fails. It treats the handshake as a performance instead of a signal. Your nervous system doesn't perform. It broadcasts. When you walk into a room carrying even a trace of anxiety, status insecurity, or the need to impress, your body transmits that before you consciously decide anything. A firm grip on top of a tense, rushed approach tells the other person's brain one thing: this person is trying too hard, and trying too hard is the fastest way to signal low status. Research from the University of Iowa in 2008 found that handshake quality predicted personality ratings and hiring outcomes better than the actual interview content for 98 candidates studied. Think about that. Your handshake is outperforming your words, and most people have no idea what theirs is saying. The problem isn't effort. The problem is you're focused on the wrong variables entirely. So what actually works? I call it the status lock framework. 3 principles that operate below conscious awareness, in the other person's limbic brain, before a single word is exchanged. These aren't tricks. They're biological triggers that humans have used to assess dominance and safety for over 200,000 years. The difference is that now you get to control them consciously instead of hoping your nervous system gets it right. Here's what the status lock framework covers: spatial approach, touch architecture, and release timing. Each one alone gives you an edge. Combined, they make your handshake feel like something people can't quite explain. They just know they want to trust you and respect you at the same time. That combination, trust plus respect, is the rarest social currency there is. Most people get one or the other. You're going to learn how to engineer both. Let's break down each principle right now. Principle 1. Spatial approach. Before you've even extended your hand, your movement through space has already cast a verdict. Watch how low-status people approach a handshake. They lean forward slightly. They reach early, sometimes from 3 or 4 feet away. They're telegraphing eagerness, which the other person's brain reads as need. Need is the opposite of power. High-status individuals do something different. They move toward the other person at a controlled pace, not slow, not fast, with their weight centered and their chest open. They don't reach until they're within natural striking distance, roughly 18 inches. This is your intimate zone. Entering it confidently without hesitation signals that you own your space and you're comfortable owning theirs too. That's a dominance signal. Here's the pattern interrupt most people never consider. Pause for a fraction of a second just before contact. Not long enough to be awkward, maybe 0.3 seconds. That micro pause Principle 2. Touch architecture. This is where most handshakes die. Touch architecture means the exact geometry of how your hand meets theirs. And there are 3 deadly mistakes that are almost universal. Mistake 1. The fingertip shake. You've felt it. Someone grabs just your fingers. It feels weak, almost evasive. It subconsciously signals that the person doesn't want full contact. They're holding back. Psychologically, that reads as untrustworthy. Mistake 2. The bone crusher. Squeezing too hard is textbook overcompensation. The other person feels aggression and insecurity packaged together. Their nervous system tenses. They want the interaction to end. Mistake 3. The palm swamp. Sweaty palms are normal under stress, but wiping your hand on your trousers half a second before the shake, everyone sees it. Now here's what you do instead. Full web-to-web contact, where the fleshy part between... Principle 3, release timing. Nobody talks about this one, and it might be the most powerful of the three. The release, the moment you let go, sends a final status signal that locks in everything that came before. Here's what low-status individuals do. They release first, almost every time. Why? Because holding on feels presumptuous. It feels like overstepping. So they let go early to signal they're not a threat. But here's the problem. Releasing first signals submission. It says you needed the interaction to end. It says they have more power than you in this exchange. High-status individuals hold a fraction longer. Not creepy long, not power play long. Just a beat beyond when the other person would naturally release. Maybe 0.5 to 0.8 seconds past the first pump. During that beat, you maintain soft eye contact, not staring, not looking away, and you let a micro-expression of genuine interest settle on your face. What does this do? It tells their subconscious that you are comfortable, you are present, and you are not in a rush to escape the interaction. That combo, comfort, presence, no rush, is the neurological signature of someone with high social status. Former FBI behavioral analyst Joe Navarro documented this exact pattern across hundreds of field interrogations, noting that individuals who controlled release timing consistently dominated the social frame of the interaction. You don't have to be FBI to use this. You just have to know it exists. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and where the status lock becomes almost unfair. When you run all three principles together in real time, the effect is not additive, it's exponential. Think about what you've just engineered from the other person's perspective. They watched you approach with centered, unhurried confidence. Their brain flagged you as high status before contact. Then your hand met theirs with full web-to-web precision and controlled pressure. Their nervous system registered you as trustworthy and strong simultaneously. Then you held the release just a beat past comfort, and their subconscious concluded that you are someone who controls the frame of every interaction you enter. All of that happened in under 4 seconds, and here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you about how powerful this is. They don't know any of it happened. They just know they feel respect for you. They just know they want to keep talking to you. They just know there's something about you. That something has a name. It's called subconscious status calibration, and you just learned how to dial it at will. If you want to go deeper on exactly this kind of instant trust engineering, the kind built on behavioral science rather than surface tricks, there's one book I keep coming back to. It's called The Like Switch by Jack Schafer, a former FBI special agent who spent decades studying how to make strangers trust you within seconds. He goes deep into the nonverbal signals, the friendship formula, the approach mechanics, all of it. Link is in the description. I genuinely think it's one of the most practically useful books in this entire space. And it's cheap. No excuse not to read it. Before you go out and start running the status lock framework, there are 3 execution mistakes that will sabotage every single principle if you let them. Mistake 1. Practicing in high-stakes situations first. Your brain under social pressure will revert to autopilot. Practice the spatial approach on cashiers, on baristas, on anyone low stakes this week. Get the movement into muscle memory before your next job interview or client meeting. Mistake 2. Isolating one principle and ignoring the others. A dominant release timing paired with a fingertip grip and an anxious approach is incoherent. Their brain will get confused signals and default to distrust. The framework only works as a system. Mistake 3, and this one is subtle, fake confidence still broadcasts. If you're running these mechanics while internally screaming with anxiety, a significant percentage of people will pick up the mismatch. The long game is to internalize the belief that your presence has value before you walk in the room. The mechanics accelerate that signal. They don't replace it. Think of status lock as a megaphone for real confidence, not a costume for fake confidence. The people you most want to impress, executives, investors, elite social circles, have spent decades reading people. They will sense the gap, build the inner game, and use the outer mechanics together. That's when you become genuinely unreadable and genuinely powerful. You came into this video probably thinking the handshake was just a formality, a social nicety, something you do automatically without thinking. Now you know the truth. It's a broadcast. It's a 4-second status transmission that goes straight into the other person's limbic brain and sets every social dynamic that follows. The executive in that Chicago boardroom in March 2019 lost a $4.2 million deal and never knew his handshake was the reason. You now know something he didn't. Use it. If this gave you a shift in how you see social dynamics, drop a comment below with the word locked so I know this framework landed for you. And if you want to go deeper on reading people, commanding rooms, and understanding the hidden signals happening in every interaction around you,